Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to wherever you may be hearing this from, you may be watching this video from. My name is Crystal and I'm coming to you from my Purified by Grace YouTube channel. I haven't posted in a while. Different things in life have come about, but I'm now about to make another post or another video. And this particular video comes upon the heels of us about to nominate and elect the first Black and Asian woman to be the President of the United States. I have a message, I have a clarion call to women, especially Black women. I have observed some behaviors. I have experienced some behaviors from fellow Black women. And I really feel like it's important that I speak on this because this is a subject that not many people want to talk about. This is not some popular subject. I'm sure I probably won't get any likes, but that's okay. I'm here to speak truth to power. And before I start, behind me I have a poster of Marcus Garvey and a quote that he once made. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, culture is like a tree without roots. And this is so true. We already know that our history is being attacked in public schools. DEI initiatives have been taken out of place. So many things have transpired and continue to transpire that's affecting us as Black people, people of African descent. What I have to say today, as I stated before, this is a message, this is a clarion call to women, especially Black women. This is a message specifically for Black women. We as Black women must take accountability for our actions. We must be responsible. And we must not deflect. The first thing that I want to speak on is dealing with internalized sexism. Now, we as a people have dealt with oppression. Years, centuries, our people have been oppressed. And internalized sexism is a form of internalized oppression, which consists of oppressive tactics, oppressive practices that continue to make rounds even when members of the oppressor group are not present. Internalized sexism is a form of sexist behavior and attitudes enacted by women towards themselves and other women and girls. If I make a quote, there's a quote that I have from Malcolm X. And Malcolm X, he was a very great man. Not many people like to talk about him, but this man was very wise. And I wish I had a chance to meet him. And this is a quote that he spoke. This is a quote that he made. It was a speech that he had given on May 22nd of 1962. He delivered a speech in Los Angeles, California, in which he spoke to and about Black women. And the quote states as such: "The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman. And this still rings true today. And this is an article, I'm looking at an article that was posted. It was posted back in 2020, August 7th of 2020. And it was written by a black woman named Feminista Jones. And this was basically a speech where Malcolm, he spoke to the negatives in which black women are treated. And he called on us, black women, to think deeply about the harmful internalization of society's loathing of who we are, particularly when it comes to our natural appearance. And that dealt with like the color of our skin, the texture of our hair, the shape of our nose, shape of our lips. Malcolm, he really spoke on this when he had this speech. And even if I make reference to a scripture, Mark 3:25, a house divided against itself cannot stand. So right now, in the midst of where we are right now, we're about to nominate and elect the first black woman, South Asian woman, to be the president of the United States. And like I said, this is a clarion call to black women in particular. We need to understand our history. We need to understand the history of how history has affected us as women. And we don't need to forget it. But we also need to be able to work on taking accountability for our own actions. The things that we say, how we treat other women. I've seen too much of people who, if they feel like they need to be validated, like if they feel like one woman may not look like them, may not be dressed like them, may not speak like them, or whatever it might be, then automatically that woman gets ostracized. And women, this should not be because we've endured so much. We continue to endure a lot. I previously made a post encouraging our people of African descent across the diaspora. This is serious. We don't have time to be divided amongst each other. We have so much at stake against us. And for us to be divided amongst each other, you're allowing outside forces to continue to divide us. We need to have this collective bargaining. We have to be able to come together. Everybody has their own thoughts and they're entitled to their own opinion, but that does not mean that we should be tearing down one another. We should respect one another. We should be uplifting one another. Ladies, we have to do better than this. We have to do better. We have to do much better than this. I realize this is not a message that will probably garner a lot of likes, which I don't expect it to. But truth has to be spoken. Truth has to be spoken. Do we want our next generation, our future generations, to keep going in the same direction we're going because we're perpetuating bad behaviors? Women, we need to look deeply within ourselves. We need to acknowledge our own failures. We need to acknowledge our own things that we've contributed to to have caused some things, even some hurts upon other people, because they may not have fitted, quote unquote, fitted societal standards. No, God made us who we are, individually as well as a collective. Women, we need to encourage one another, not put one another down. Our ancestors, they would not be happy about what's going on today. They fought, bled, and died. Blood, sweat, and tears for us to have the human rights, the civil rights that we have. Women, take a good look at yourself. We need to take a good look at ourselves. Do we want our daughters, and if you're a grandmother, do you want your grandchildren, your granddaughters, to model this same behavior, perpetuate this same behavior, this same toxic behavior? Women, take responsibility. Yes, I'm very excited to have the first black woman, the first black and Asian, South Asian woman to be nominated. I am so excited about it. But that will not change just because we have a new person in office and we're making history. That does not change the fact that we need to come to grips with the issues that we have within the community of women. I have to speak this. I have to speak this because this has been burning within me. Again, Marcus Garvey said, a people without the knowledge of their history, of their past history, their origin and culture, is like a tree with no roots. And we can't we can't be people with no roots. We can't be trees with no roots because we die. We can't survive. I'm coming to you because this is a message that has to be said. It has to be said. All women, no matter what your skin tone is, because we've been divided amongst our skin tone, the texture of our hair, our physical looks. And we know this is not from God. This is not behavior that comes from the one that created us. No. And we must recognize that and put it aside. Thank you for listening to this message. I hope that you were encouraged. And I hope that you will reflect. And most of all, take accountability for your actions. Thank you.